Former U.S. President Donald Trump has challenged his Democratic rival, incumbent President Joe Biden, to a debate. This comes as the two men head towards a White House rematch following their sweep in Super Tuesday primaries. Donald Trump did not debate during the Republican nomination race. However, he wants to talk to Joe Biden, speaks now of the importance of taking up vital issues for discussion and debate for the country's sake. Trump has dared Biden to take part in a TV forum. The Republican frontrunner says that he's ready for a debate anytime, anywhere, any place. Trump's bold challenge comes at a time when the 77-year-old has repeatedly claimed Biden is too old and forgetful to debate him. 81-year-old Joe Biden has been criticized for using cheat sheets while addressing the public and journalists. Americans say the use of notes is an attempt by the president to avoid another blunder on the main stage. All right, for more on this, we are being joined by Peter Kuznick from Washington, D.C. Peter is a professor of history at American University. Professor, thank you so much for joining us on WION. Welcome back. The question that many are asking now is, will President Biden accept former President Donald Trump's challenge? And if so, how might this debate play out?
The truth is, it's really too early to know. There's a long time between now and the election. Last time around in 2020, they did hold two debates, but they weren't until September. So usually, if there are debates, it's after the conventions, after the formal nominating process. This time, as you mentioned, Trump refused to debate during the Republican primaries. Chris Christie called him a chicken. Nikki Haley kept on asking him to debate, insisting that he debate. Trump knew he was ahead and he decided not to. Right now, Trump thinks he's got an advantage over Biden. But if we go back to the 2020 campaign, when they did have two debates, the first debate was chaotic because Trump kept shouting over Biden, and Biden had a hard time getting a word in. Second debate was a little better. They were supposed to have a third debate, but they were going to have to do it remotely because of COVID, and Trump refused. Since then, the Republican National Committee has pulled out of the Commission on Presidential Debates. They did that 2 years ago. So we don't know. Now Trump says he'll debate him anywhere, or anytime, any place. But anywhere and any place are the same thing. I'm not sure. It doesn't even make sense what he said. However, clearly the Democrats are hesitant because Biden is a human gaffe machine. Trump is also a human gaffe machine. The other thing about Trump is that during his 4 years in the White House, the Washington Post cataloged over 30,000 lies that Trump told. More than 21 a day. And so Trump he just makes things up. Biden at least tries to stick to the facts a little bit more than Trump does. So it would be quite a spectacle. The other thing to remember is that Biden turned down the offer to do an interview during the Super Bowl. This was a great opportunity for Biden to reach an enormous number of people. And Biden didn't take that opportunity. So that makes me think that he's very hesitant to engage in a format that he could be challenged. He wants to come across as being strong, as being vital, as being mentally sharp. But he is 81 years old. He will be 82 by the time of the election. And he is not as sharp as he used to be. And even then, he used to make a lot of mistakes. So I doubt that they're going to have debates, but they might.
Yeah. Yeah, Professor, a lot to consider, but what's making headlines now, and all eyes are now on the State of the Union address by President Joe Biden. And I agree with you, by the way, regarding the interview with the Super Bowl. It's hard to imagine that they would send Joe Biden on stage with the former president for 45 minutes, an hour live TV. But now the State of the Union is upon us. What do you expect from President Biden?
I think if we're going to get a few things from Biden. First of all, he's going to emphasize all of his achievements. And when it comes to domestic policy, he's actually got a very strong record. So he can promote that and talk about, look what I've been able to accomplish, despite the fact that the Republicans are doing everything they can to sabotage me. Now, Bernie Sanders and others have urged him to become more of a progressive, stand up more for common working people in the United States who feel that they've been suffering, and to promote strong domestic policies that are going to help working people and attack the business interests who have been standing in his way. So I think we're going to see some of that. But the most important thing for Biden is to act and look like he's strong, like he's youthful. He might be old in age, but he wants to come across as young in ideas, young in a vision for America, that he's got some plan for where the United States is going. So he is the thing that will get him elected, if he is reelected, is that people are going to vote against Trump. It's a funny election in that there's not Trump's base is certainly pro-Trump. There's not a lot of strong pro-Biden sentiment out there, not a lot of enthusiasm for Biden's base. So what he's going to effectively do is get people to come out to vote because it's a vote against Trump. The idea that Trump says he's going to be a dictator on day one, effectively is going to tear up the Constitution. He's still running on the big lie that Biden stole the 2020 election. Most people, not aside from his MAGA base, are very aware that the election was not stolen in 2020. So what Biden's got to do is win back those constituencies that are crucial for his reelection, but that are not with him now. That includes young people. I see it with my students. They they deplore the U.S. blanket support for Israel. Every day they turn on the television, they see more images of civilians, women, children, old people being killed in Gaza by the Israelis with weapons and money supplied by the United States. They are not going to vote for Trump, but they are not going to vote for Biden, many of them either. Third party candidates, even a
Right,
Robert
Professor, and
Kennedy.
that's the question. How many people are going to stay home or they're going to go for third-party candidates? I'm so sorry to cut you off. I have to go right now, but I look forward to speaking to you again very soon on this subject and others.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.